Yeah, we are ready to roll. Ready to roll? Yeah, we're ready to roll. What are we studying? There was homework, right? In the practice book. We're going to check that first. Precisely on page number 29 in the practice book. What can you do? Complete the conversations with can or can't and the verb in the box. Okay. The first sentence is, can you speak French? Yes, I can a little bit. Bonjour. Two. Just a second. Let me share my screen for the recording. Okay. And the speaker high definition. Why? Okay. This is better. Microphone. Okay. This microphone is better, I think. Right. Rishabh, you can hear me. Rishabh, you can hear me, right? How's my audio quality?
Now connected to the O5
Low system resource. And why would that be? Rishabh, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me properly. All right, fine. Let's continue. So a person asked another person, can you speak French? And that person replies, yes, I can, a little bit. Bonjour. And he tried to prove that I can speak French by saying a French word. Bonjour is a French word, which means hello. Bonjour means hello. Two, somebody is making an inquiry. Can Peter run fast? Can Peter run fast? The other person replies, yeah, he can. He's a 100-meter champion. All right. Three, can Alice cook Italian food? She can, really well. Her spaghetti bolognese is famous. Her spaghetti bolognese is famous. Relative of Alice. A spaghetti bolognese is Alice's relative, guys? Now, then it is a dish. What kind of dish? It is an Italian dish. Because the question was, can Alice cook Italian food? Yes, she can really well. Her spaghetti bolognese is famous. So the context clearly tells us, without a doubt, that spaghetti bolognese is an Italian dish. It is an Italian dish. Just like, chow mein is a Chinese dish. Similarly, spaghetti bolognese is an Italian dish. No problems, anybody? Move on. Can you ride a motorbike? No, I can't. But I can drive a car. Five. Can you do this homework? In Hindi, in Hindi, in Hindi, in Hindi. बहुत बढ़िया. You guys remember? You guys got
Perfect.
totally badly, trapped in this sentence last time. Remember that? Yeah. Can you do this homework? हो जाएगा तुमसे ये. Huh? Yes, of course. Yes, of course. It isn't difficult, just boring.
Desktop 05 English 8C.
It isn't difficult, just boring. Okay. Next, rewrite the sentences with expressions from the box. So we have a line 0 to 80%, 0% not at all, 1 to 30% a little bit, 30 to 70% quite well, 70 to 80% very well, 80% plus really well. So forget about percentage, but understand the phrases. Not at all, a little bit, quite well, very well, really well. Okay. I changed my tone. I want you guys to read the same things, all these things with the right tone. Come on, first one. Not at all. Next. A little bit. Next. Quite well. Very well. And last. Really well. Good job. Okay, you understand that. Okay, now we are going to look at the percentage and write them here in the sentences. She can play chess 80%. She can play chess. Very good. Next. And next. She can't cook at all. Or not at all. She can't cook at all. She can't cook at all. I'm a little worried now about those students who are absent today as well. Today is the second day after the break after the holidays, and they are still absent. Okay, and maybe some of them were absent 2 3 days before the holidays. So it means they have missed a lot of classes. Not good for them. She can't cook at all. 3. She can speak English quite well. She can speak English quite well. अच्छा खासा बोल लेती है English. She can speak English quite well. अच्छा खासा English बोल लेती है. She can speak English quite well. 4. He can speak Arabic a little bit. He can speak Arabic a little bit. 5. Her baby is only 1, but he can walk very well. He can walk very well. Her baby is only 1, but he can walk very well. Here, the baby is a boy or a girl. The baby is a boy or a girl. You know it's a boy, right? How do you know? Because the word is he. English very clearly tells you about boys, girls, okay? But do not try to understand the gender of you. You doesn't have a gender. You can be a boy, you can be a girl. Yes. Okay. 6. My sister is only 5, but she can read quite well. अच्छा खासा पढ़ लेती है, ठीक ठाक पढ़ लेती है. She's only 5, but she can read quite well. My brother can program computers really well. He's a very good programmer. Last one. Not in, don't speak in one breath, in one tone. Don't be monotonous. Take pauses, change your tone. Um, okay, like this. I can understand German a little bit, but I can't speak it at all. And if you go a breathless by the end of the sentence, some people run out of breath by the end of the sentence. I can understand German a little bit, but I can't speak it at all. Don't do that. That's not how we speak English. You should never run out of breath when you're talking. When you're talking and you run out of breath, it means you are nervous. And that's why you're speaking too fast. You're not pausing where you need to pause. To speak naturally, you need to control your voice. And all these things are not possible unless you are calm when you're speaking. Even today, though I'm a teacher of English and my English knowledge is out of doubt, okay, nobody can doubt my English knowledge. And still, when I get nervous in a situation, I start speaking fast and I end up becoming breathless sometimes. So, to avoid this situation, it is necessary that we feel relaxed when we are talking. If you are stressed out, it will be difficult for you. Was or were you at the party? Exercise 4. Complete the conversation with was or wasn't, were or weren't. This is a very good conversation, guys. A very good conversation. And you know what? I am very nervous because you guys have made the same mistake that everybody makes. And why do they make that mistake? Because they don't really think about what they're reading. They don't care about what they're reading. They are not very involved, mentally in the activity. They superficially, ऊपर से, they try to just, अच्छा ये होना चाहिए. Beta, there is a conversation here between two people who were not together at a party. They were not together. And which party are we talking about? Charlotte's party last Saturday. Who was present, A or B? Ah, dekho, you guys are silent. You've already done it and still you're silent. Okay, do one thing. I give you guys 2 minutes. Practice the conversation with each other and see if you have made any mistakes. Practice the conversation with each other, and then see if you have made any mistakes there. Go ahead, start your practice. The mic is off. No, it is on. The light is on. Thank you anyway. Atif, practice with Injamamula. Okay, did you realize your problem? Did you realize your mistake? No, you didn't. Okay, let's find out whether you made a mistake or not. In sentence, in space number, blank space number 9, what have you written? What is your answer in space number 9? Okay, one by one. Starting with you, Rudra. Number 9, were. So I will surrender. I will not teach you anymore. I will not teach you anymore. Take a look, everybody. Those who have the word were in their blank space. Okay, I'm not teaching them anymore. They can go home because I surrender. पैसा आके ले लेना वापस ब्याज के साथ जब मैं मेरी बच्ची का जॉब हो जाएगा तो क्योंकि अभी तो मैं पैसे खा गया तुम्हारा तो आई कांट रियली पे यू हाँ लिखा वो क्या लिखा है नंबर 9 में क्या लिखा है क्या लिखा है ओके बदमाशी बिना होमवर्क किए पहुंच गए क्लास में बिना होमवर्क किए क्लास पहुंचे तुम बिना क्लास में होमवर्क किए पहुंचे हो हाँ 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 डरो मत अच्छा ठीक है ध्यान देना आगे ओके नंबर 9 चल इसका भी छुट्टी ठीक है इन दोनों प्रैक्टिस किया है बदमाशी करे दोनों दिमाग लगाओ तुम दोनों की छुट्टी इसलिए बोल रहा हूं क्योंकि तुम दोनों प्रैक्टिस किए अब तुम दोनों तेज दिमाग के हो लेकिन तुम हो ही नहीं क्लास में फिजिकली प्रेजेंट हो सिर्फ दिस इज नॉट गोना बी इनफ यू आर फिजिकली प्रेजेंट इन द क्लास show me what you have written you made that correction while you were practicing this is why I ask people to practice because I realize when they do their homework sometimes they're not very sincere I know it. So I gave them the second chance. Okay, fine, practice and realize where your mistake is. I'm not going to correct that mistake. You will, because otherwise the conversation doesn't make sense. With the word were in number 9, it doesn't make sense. That's all. It just doesn't make sense. Why would somebody say, why were you there in that situation? What have you written? Shub, you haven't done your homework. You haven't done your homework. Have you? What have you written in number 9? Where? Were is not right. Were is not correct. If you say were, then it doesn't make sense there. Look, the whole conversation is about A not being present at Charlotte's party. The whole conversation is about A not being there. A was not there. A did not attend B's party. Sorry, Charlotte's party. B was there. B is sharing information, right? So B will not ask why were you there. We will ask why weren't you there? Why weren't you there? तुम क्यों नहीं आए थे? Right? वो क्यों बोलेगा तुम आए क्यों थे वहां पे? कैसे बोलेगा वैसा? कैसे हो सकता है? You know, why weren't you there? So Tabrez and Rudra, I think you guys should be embarrassed right now. Because I realize that it happens at home, people are not sincere. You practiced here the same lines and you are cool. You are not mentally involved in what you're doing. And I've already told you, such students will not be able to do much acquisition. It means they will be waiting here to learn one day. It will never happen because they're not involved. Raise Beta, Rudra, both of you are my good students, but you are letting me down big time. You're disappointing me and you are disappointing yourselves, I guess. Now that mistake, when you look, how do you feel? How does it make sense there to say, why were you there? Why would somebody say, why were you there? They would say, why weren't you there? A is asking so many questions. How many was it good? How many people were there? Were there many people? Was Sophie there? It means A was not present at Charlotte's party. So B is asking, अच्छा भैया ये सब तो ठीक है. Why weren't you there? आए काहे नहीं थे तुम? उसने कहा I couldn't go because I was at another party. Isn't it? Easy? Is there a problem at all? Okay. See, I do not. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You guys are not asking me to teach grammar. If you ask me to teach grammar, I will never ask you to be involved so much because I know how people study grammar and what they do with that grammar. Nothing. That grammar lies in their notebooks stored. Okay, when they go to practice, when they study for jobs and all, banking and SSC competitive exams, they study the same things again and they still keep making mistakes. It's very important to be fully focused in the activities, that you're doing. Okay, now let's move on to could and couldn't. Remember yesterday I gave you a lot of practice about things that you do early or on time and things you do late. You were not there yesterday, but I think I shared the recording. I didn't share the recording. I didn't share the recording yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I did. Number one, sentence number one. I could walk when I was one, but I couldn't talk until I was three. See, I could I could walk when I was one. चलना तो टाइम पे आ गया था, एक साल में आ गया. टाइम पे क्या, एक साल में आ गया था, right? But I couldn't talk until I was three. लेकिन बोलना कब आया? 3 साल में आया. लेट से आया, right? अगर वो भी 3 साल मान लो टाइम पे होता, ठीक है, तो वो ऐसा नहीं लिखा होता आई कुडंट टॉक अंटिल आई वाज 3, वो भी लिखा होता एंड आई कुड टॉक व्हेन आई वाज 3. तो ये सेंटेंस तभी चुनते हैं व्हेन वी वांट टू शो दैट समथिंग हैपेंड लेट. ना, इट्स वर्किंग. थैंक यू एनीवे फॉर हाइलाइटिंग. Look at this little light here, green light here, okay? Okay. Number two, how old were you when you how old were you when you could get dressed? कितनी उम्र में तुमको कपड़े पहनना आ गया था खुद से? मैंने कहा खुद से. You could get dressed. You could, when you couldn't get dressed, then your mother dressed you, right? When you were a small child and you couldn't get dressed, then who dressed you? Your mother dressed you. Okay. I think your mother dressed you until you were 3 or 4, I guess. And after that, you started to get dressed on your own, right? Okay. I couldn't get my daughter. No, no, no. How old were you when you could get dressed? How old were you when you could get dressed? How old were you when you could get dressed? Hooray! Why is it so difficult to answer? You can recall your childhood, like when you went to your primary school, class 1, class 2. Did you get dressed on your own or your mother dressed you? You can recall that. Okay. So, all right. Don't answer it this way, beta, because the question is, how old were you when you could get dressed? Okay. No, not like that. I could get dressed when I was 5. Don't change the order of the clauses. Say I could get dressed when I was 5 or 6. That's your answer. What is your answer? I was 5 or so. If you say I was 5 or 6, enough, no problems. But if you want to use this phrase as well, then use it first. I could get dressed. Okay. Number 3. My daughter, you can do it. My daughter couldn't feed herself. Yeah. Yeah. Good job, Rishabita. My daughter couldn't feed herself until she was 4. She couldn't feed herself. She couldn't feed herself until she was 4. Okay, so this person thinks that his daughter started feeding herself late or early. Late. He thinks that, okay? Because he said, my daughter couldn't feed herself until she was 4. 4 साल की हुई तब जाके खुद से खाना शुरू की. ये कह रहा है वो, ऐसे बोल रहा है वो. अगर वो सीधा टोन बोलता ना, 4 साल में उसको खुद से खाना आ गया था, तो कैसे बोलता? My daughter could feed herself when she was 4. When she was 4, she could feed herself. लेकिन उसने ऐसे सीधा नहीं बोला. She couldn't feed herself until she was 4. It means he is complaining that it happened late. Maybe not complaining, but still saying that it happened late. Number 5. Number 4. I couldn't sleep last night. रात कल रात सो नहीं पाए. In Hindi, कल रात सो नहीं पाए. Right? I couldn't sleep last night. My neighbor's TV was so loud. My neighbor's TV was so loud. Okay. Next. I couldn't find you yesterday. Where were you? कहाँ थे रे तुम? कल मिला नहीं? Where were you? I couldn't find you yesterday. Number 6. Rishabh, is that true about you? Rishabh has written he couldn't walk until he was 6. अच्छा ये बच्चा में
Yes, yes,
बता देते हैं, ठीक है ना? आप लोगों को जो मैंने कही है ना काम करने के लिए, था नहीं, इस बच्चे में मेरी लाज रख ली, इस बच्चे ने एक तरह से मैं कहूंगा, और अपनी भी इज्जत बचा ली. ये हर चीज जो मैं सिखा रहा हूँ ना, उसका जो लेवल है उस हिसाब से वो हर दिन एक कदम आगे बढ़ रहा है. आई एम नॉट श्योर कि वो कल तक ये सेंटेंस इतने अच्छे से वो लिख सकता था जितने अच्छे से अभी लिख रहा है. ऋषभ, आई कुडंट वॉक अंटिल आई वाज 6. ये बात तुम्हारे दिमाग में आ गई कि लेट से अगर कोई काम हुआ तो ऐसे बोलना है. राइट बेटा?
yes,
गुड जॉब.
yes,
तो इज इट ट्रू ऋषभ?
yes, sir. अच्छे से हम नहीं चल पाते.
सी. तो इंग्लिश में बेटा, यस सर आई कुडंट वॉक वेरी वेल. ओके.
Yes,
अच्छे से नहीं चल
I
पाते थे
could,
बेटा, आई कुडंट वॉक
I
वेरी.
work very well.
हैबिट भी डेवलप करनी होगी समझ के साथ साथ. समझ तो बनी रही है, हैबिट भी डेवलप करिए बाय टॉकिंग टू ईच अदर इन इंग्लिश. ओके. गुड जॉब ऋषभ, वेरी गुड जॉब. ऋषभ जैसे बच्चे ना जो हार्ड वर्किंग है, जिनको मौका नहीं मिला सही तरीके से सीखने का, आई विल नाउ से दिस. ओके. हुआ क्या ना, आई हैव टोल्ड यू ऑलरेडी हिज स्टोरी दैट ही वाज इन द he joined my class in the middle. A lot of students join my classes in the middle. So what do I do with them? I just ask them to be patient. For example, in the mom has just joined the class 2-3 days ago. It is his third or fourth class today only. Okay. So what am I expecting from him? I'm not asking him to do all the exercises just like you guys. He has recently joined only 4-5 days ago. It means he will need time. So I want to give him time. Be here, listen to me, just be involved. Whatever you can understand, try and understand that part. And later, I will give him a new class from Unit 1. And I will expect him to be hardworking. This is exactly what Rishabh did from Unit 1 when he joined this class. I told you that he had decided to leave the class because he thought he was not getting it. He was not able to understand what I was teaching so well because he joined in the middle and he was feeling helpless. I gave him confidence because I knew what my methodology is. I know it very well how my methodology works. My methodology works with those people who are fully involved all the time in what I'm trying to do. And because Rishabh's English was not good, he was really involved. He wants to improve his English. He has a real hunger to improve his English. When you measure hunger, hunger is not a concrete thing that you can measure with a measurement tape or a kilo or anything, liter. But when you try and understand, he is really hungry to improve his English. The problem is his childhood was different from many of your childhood. You guys, many of you had access to quality English books, but you didn't bother to read. Rishabh didn't have access to those things. I'm pretty sure he had a very mediocre means average, not very good, okay? Mediocre quality of education as a child. And he is trying to compensate. and he has got motivation from his brothers. 2, 3 of his brothers are in jobs now with their hard work, and he's the youngest. So he thinks if I work hard, I will also be successful, just like my brothers. So he's working hard. So motivation matters. He is self motivated. He is not motivated because of me. He is just self motivated. And Rishabh, you have to keep it up. Okay. You have to continue doing this.
Okay, sir.
Let's continue, everybody. By the way, Rishabh couldn't walk until he was 6. If you want, you can put the phrase, I couldn't walk very well until I was 6.
6.
If you want, you could put that phrase, I couldn't walk very well until I was 6. Okay. Last night, I couldn't sleep very well. Why? My neighbor's TV was so loud. 5. I couldn't find you yesterday. Where were you? टोन बदलेगा ना, सही तरीके से बोलेंगे ना, ऐसे बोलेंगे आई कुडंट फाइंड यू यस्टरडे, वेयर वर यू. ये कोई बात ही नहीं हो, हुआ ही नहीं कुछ, ये कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, कुछ होना चाहिए ना. ऑलराइट. Number 6. When I was 5, I could speak English and Russian. Huh. All right. Could you read English and Russian as well? एक ने कहा, when I was 5, I could speak English and Russian. I could speak English and Russian. हमको इंग्लिश और रशियन बोलना आ गया था 5 साल की उम्र में. I could speak English और Russian when I was 5. तो दूसरे ने बोला कि पढ़ना भी आ गया था, पढ़ना भी आ गया था. आ गया था मतलब क्षमता की बात हो रही है, पास्ट टाइम. कुछ तो आना है यार, बोल लो. Could you read English and Russian as well? I hope you understand. समझना बहुत जरूरी है. आदत बना लो इस चीज की कि जो भी काम करो उसमें दिमाग लगा के करेंगे, नहीं तो लाइफ में बहुत जगह बेवकूफ बनोगे अगर बिना दिमाग लगाए कोई काम कर रहे हो. प्लीज स्टॉप दिस बैड हैबिट. नाउ लेट्स गो टू द मेन बुक, एवरीबॉडी. What was that noise? That that noise of something falling. What was that? Okay. Yesterday we talked about two little kids. They are child prodigies. They are, yeah. What is a child prodigy? A young child who is very, very talented, really talented, exceptionally talented. Exceptionally. How? Exceptionally talented. Their talent is an exception, not normal. Such children are called child prodigies. Sachin Tendulkar was 6 years old and he played with 12-year, 14-year-old boys. Cricket. He was a child prodigy. Okay. So your talent can be of any sort. Okay. A child prodigy means a child who has exceptional talent. Okay. कभी मैंने बोला exceptionally talented और कभी मैं बोला exceptional talent. समझने की जरूरत है. He was talented. तो adjective है talented. He was talented. He was talented. अब उसके पहले मुझे adverb बोलना पड़ेगा. He was exceptionally talented. He was really talented. अब सुनिए. Talent is a noun. Talent is a, he had, Sachin Tendulkar had exceptional talent. Talent noun है तो उसके पहले adjective चाहिए. तो exceptional adjective हो गया. ये सब बातें मैं बोल रहा हूं तो आपको समझ में आ रही है. धीरे धीरे अगर आप मेरे मेथड से पढ़ाई करते रहे तो ये सब चीजें आपको ऐसे समझ में आएंगी. लेकिन ये महीनों का काम नहीं है, सालों का काम है. ठीक है. आप इसको महीनों में निपटाना चाहोगे तो खराब होगा. ओके, लेट्स सी. किसी क्लास को बैठा के ये सारी चीजें सिखा दी जाए, एडजेक्टिव और एडवर्ब. ठीक है. लेकिन किसी को मैच्योरिटी नहीं दी जा सकती है। मान लो मैं इस छोटे से बच्चे को, सचित को, उम्मीद करूं कि मैं 17 साल वाली बातचीत पर कर दूं इसके सामने, अब ये 17 साल वाली बातचीत समझ जाएगा क्योंकि मैंने बता दी है, तो मैं जाहिल हूं। एब्सोल्युटली स्टूपिड आई वुड बी, बिकॉज मैंने बोल दिया, इसका ये मतलब नहीं इसका दिमाग। वैसे ही इंग्लिश में आपके दिमाग का एक लेवल पे होना जरूरी है, फिर ही आप उन बातों को अप्रिशिएट कर पाओगे। हम बोल देंगे, हाँ हम बोल दिया, अभी बोल दिया, एडवर्ब एडजेक्टिव बोल दिया, हो गया। अरे वाह, इतना आसान होता ना तो पूरी दुनिया इंग्लिश बोल रही होती, क्योंकि सब जगह टीचर जानते हैं जो पढ़ा रहे हैं, वो बोल देते, बच्चे सुन लेते ना। दिस इज द रीजन आई डू नॉट really show so much of strict behavior for your mistakes and all, because I know those mistakes are just natural. In some classes you see teachers react. I reacted to you two only. A lot of other people had made the same mistake, remember, the children here, but I didn't say anything to them. I only reacted to you two. Why? Because you were capable of correcting it, but you didn't. These children need more time. I'm patient with them. I'm really positive that one day they will understand why it was wrong. But if you are not paying attention now, you will never understand. That's the problem with you. I have so many analogies to share with you. A Sachit goes to the gym and he picks up a dumbbell of 200 grams. No problems. I have no problems. I know tomorrow he will pick up a dumbbell of 500 grams. You go with him and you also pick up a dumbbell of 250 grams, 300 grams. I will be very angry with you because now you're being lazy. You're capable of picking up a dumbbell of 5 kilos and you're picking up how much? 500 grams? It means you're being lazy, and that lazy attitude will never allow you to build your body. So that is what I am worried about, your attitude, not your aptitude. Your aptitude will grow with time. I'm here to help you. That's why you have chosen me as your teacher. But how do I change your attitude? There are two things, आपका नजरिया और आपकी क्षमता। क्षमता तो आपकी बढ़ जाएगी, आप जीरो फ्रेंच जानते हो, एक फ्रेंच टीचर आएगा, वो 4 सालों में आपको फ्रेंच में फ्लुएंट बना देगा, हाँ कि ना? यानी कि वो क्षमता डाल देगा ना आपके अंदर स्लोली। तो टीचर्स जॉब इज टू हेल्प यू विद योर एप्टीट्यूड, लेकिन एटीट्यूड में कैसे मैं मदद करूं तुम्हारी? इफ यू हैव डिसाइडेड नॉट टू चेंज योर एटीट्यूड, हाउ डू आई चेंज योर एटीट्यूड? एटीट्यूड मतलब आपका नजरिया, आपका अप्रोच। तो आपको सीरियस होना पड़ेगा, धोनी से ना कोई मैदान में उतरना पड़ेगा, आपको सीरियस होना पड़ेगा सर। इस लापरवाह नजरिए से आप कहां जाओगे? Okay, moving on. Mark you and Cleopatra. What can Mark you do? He can he can play the, हाँ एक्टिव रहिए, पार्टिसिपेट करिए, छोटी छोटी बातें ही पार्टिसिपेट कराने के लिए मैं करता हूँ। मैं कभी नहीं पूछूंगा व्हाट्स योर ओपिनियन ऑन डोनाल्ड ट्रंप एंड what is her name, Kamala Harris, who should be the president of the United States of America. I'm not going to ask you for your opinion in this class. Okay, here I will ask you simple questions like this. What can Mark you do? He can play the piano. Cleopatra, and Cleopatra, she can, hello, ये बोलिए। हाँ बेटा। हम्म। किस चीज में? ओके बेटा। जस्ट अ सेकंड। नॉट येट। Disconnect the call and call again, okay? Let's continue. What was I talking about? What does Cleopatra Stratton do? What can she do? She can sing, right? She's a great singer. Okay. All right. Let's see. What do I do here? The sentences, guys. Talk about Mark. When was he born? Where was he born? What can he do? How old was he when he could play the piano? Only 3. And how old was he when he could play the cello? He was only 4. Uh, Aman was present yesterday. Aman? Aman was not present. Aman was not present. There was another guy though. What's his name? He's also from hostel. Nasir. Where is he today? Sleeping. He went back home. He went back home. He went back home. When इसलिए गया तो पास्ट गया तो गो का V2 पता है ना कोई भी पास्ट टाइम बात करना तो पास्ट फॉर्म ऑफ द वर्ब बोलना कितना आसान था मेरे लिए 2 सेकंड मैंने बोला पर आपको इसको प्रैक्टिस करने में 2 महीने लगे कितने दिन 2 महीने तब मुंह से निकलेगा ही नहीं सही सही आप रोज एक ही गलती करते रहोगे मैं मुझे पता है बिकॉज आई हैव बीन टीचिंग फॉर 16 ईयर सबको पता होता है V2 यूज करना है लेकिन मुंह से गलत निकलेगा तो इसकी आदत पड़ने में 2 महीने लगते हैं अगर आप सिंसियर है तो सिंसियर नहीं है तो 2 साल भी लगा दो क्या और नई आदत पड़ेगी अब तब जब न तब गलत बोलते रहोगे तो काम आसान नहीं है हमारे जैसे टीचर मैं इतने सारे टीचर्स हैं ना वो सब सोचते हैं कि बता दिया मैंने स्टूडेंट को अरे वो भाषा है कोई फिजिक्स का फॉर्मूला नहीं आप लिख लेंगे वो भी वही बात है आप फिजिक्स पढ़ते हो यार 11 12th में आप में से कितने साइंटिस्ट बने यानी फिजिक्स सिर्फ एग्जाम के लिए पढ़े क्या ही लाइफ में उसको यूज कर पा रहे हो आप तो प्रैक्टिकली आपको चाहिए इंग्लिश यूज करना है आपको लाइफ में इसीलिए मुश्किल है नोट्स बनाना एग्जाम देना है करवा लेंगे लेट्स सी last question about Mark. When did he play with Lang Lang? Last year. Okay, good. Oh, when was Cleopatra born? Right. Where was she born? कुछ अंदाजा लग रहा होगा in Moldova near Romania is a country okay Moldova is also a country I think Moldova is a small country okay let's move on to the next question what can she do now beta I haven't received any OTP now yeah wait I've got the OTP 4273 4273 you're welcome So you start your practice now with each other. Ask and answer the questions. Before you do this, let me just play the audio file once again.
That's all. He can play the piano and the cello. He could play the piano when he was 3.
He could play the cello when he was 4. Last year, he played with Lang Lang, the famous Chinese pianist in New York. They were a big success.
Tape script 5.11. Mark Yu, pianist.
He was born on January the 5th, 1999, in California, USA. He can play the piano and the cello. He could play the piano when he was 3. He could play the cello when he was 4. Last year, he played with Lang Lang, the famous Chinese pianist in New York. They were a big success.
Tape script 5.11. Mark. Tape script 5.12. Cleopatra Stratton, singer.
She was born on October the 7th, 2002, in Moldova near Romania. She could sing beautifully when she was just 2 years old. When she was 3, she made an album, La Vasta de 3 anni. Her album was a big success. 150,000 were sold round the world.
How old was she when she made the album? She was only 3 years old. How many copies were sold? Very good. Start your practice with each other. Talk about Marcu, talk about Cleopatra, ask and answer questions with a partner. Go ahead. Start your practice now. Which part are you practicing? Huh? Which part are you practicing, guys? Okay, so what's the problem? Why did you say no? Huh? Okay. If you want to ask me the same question, okay, practice with me now. Those who said no, first they will practice. Practice with me. Ask me questions about Mark. Go ahead, ask me. You said no. Of course, you needed more time, right? Go ahead, ask me. Basic error. You don't need practice. You need to understand what have I taught you about beaver? What have I taught you about questions? Position changing. So what should be the question? Obviously, beaver goes before the subject in question. So the question will be, when was Marcu born? Very good. And the answer is, he was born on January the 5th. January the 5th. January the 5th. January the 5th. He was born on January the 5th, 1999. Next question, sir. Who is Marcu? Marcu is a talented singer. He's a child prodigy. Okay, go on. What can he do? There is another question as well. Where? What? Where was he born? He was born in California, USA. Okay. And the next question, what can he do? He can play the piano and the cello very well. Okay, next. How old? That's not the question. The question, look, how old when could he can? See. How old was he when he could play the piano? How old was he when he could play the piano? Right. He was only 3. Next question. How old was he when he could play the cello? Right? The spelling is E-double-L-O, but if you listen to the pronunciation, it's cello, 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 cello. How old was he when he could play the cello? He was only 4. Next. Questions about Cleopatra. When was
Was
answer?
Now connected to desktop.
He was born on October 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 the 7th. Okay, and in 2002, right? Where was she born? Where was she born? Right. Next question. What can she do? She can sing very well. Next question. How old was she when she could sing? How old was she when she could sing? She was only 2 years old. Next question. How old was she when she made an album? She was only 3 years old. All right. What was the name of the album? It was called La Vastra de Triani. La Varsta de Triani. Do you know what it means? It means the age of 3. The age of 3. La Varsta means the age. De Triani, 3 years. Of 3 years. The age of 3 years. Okay. The age of 3. La, the, Varsta, age, they, of, tre, 3, ani, years. What? Lovely. ये भी तो देखिए कुछ आगे बढ़िए. Was she born in Romania? No, she wasn't, but she was born near Romania in Moldova. Good. आसान है ना? चलिए, next. We have another interesting story of another child prodigy, Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso was also a child prodigy. Read and complete the conversation about him. Come on, everybody. Read and complete the conversation about Pablo Picasso. आप ठीक कर रहे बेटा, आप एकदम अच्छा कर रहे, ठीक है? आपकी इंग्लिश मुंह से निकल रही हो ना निकल रही हो कोई टेंशन नहीं है, आप सही कर रहे हैं. घर पे भी थोड़ा मेहनत करिए सर, क्लास में बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं. और इसमें आपकी बहन का बहुत रोल है जो उसने शुरुआत में आपकी मदद किया है, क्योंकि अब आप ना इन्वॉल्व होने लग गए, अब आपको खुद भी पढ़ने का समझ में आने लगा, इससे घुस पढ़ाई में इन्वॉल्व हो जाता है. बहुत अच्छे बेटा. यू ब्रदर एंड सिस्टर आर वेरी गुड. यस. 6 more months, Mudassir. 6 more months. Okay. And there will be nobody like you in your whole village, in your whole area, in terms of English. 6 more months. There will be nobody like you there. चाहे वो स्कूल इंग्लिश मीडियम में पढ़ रहा हो, ग्रेजुएशन कर रहा हो इंग्लिश में, doesn't matter. Your understanding will be above par, better than all of those people there. This is my specialty. When you guys study in this class and you are sincere, then you become just different. These children, 1 year with me, okay, more. And they will be different from all other children their age in their group, in their area. Because ये कोई रट्टा मार ही नहीं रहा है कोई चीज का, सीधे सीधे डेवलप कर रहे हैं एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग. स्लो हो रहा है वो, लेकिन वो फास्ट हो रहा है, क्योंकि जो याद करना वो दिखता फास्ट है, होता नहीं है. लगता है बहुत ज्यादा सीख गए बहुत कम समय में, पर वो समझ नहीं बनती, इसलिए कभी भी ढप से गिर सकते हैं. Everybody do it. Pablo Picasso text, read. Let me know when you finish. In Zamambita, no need to worry. ओके चाहे एक्सरसाइज बने चाहे नहीं, आप घुसे हुए हो ना, करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो ना, बस वही काफी. नहीं भी हुआ तो आपका टेंशन नहीं. ओके easy or difficult, Rani? Very easy. Pablo Picasso. Shall we read? Shall we check? Or you need more time? Come on, guys. I need to know where you are. Have you finished? Need more time? Let's check then. Then have the confidence to say, sir, we are done. Okay. Pablo Picasso. My first question will be, when was he born? He was born on October the 25th, 1881, not 1991, 1881. When was Pablo Picasso born? He was born on October the 25th. Yeah, that guy was born on January the 5th. He was born on October the 25th. Mark was born in 1999. He was born in 1881. Okay? And when did he die? He died, past tense died. He died on April the 8th. April the 8th, 1973. About 50 years ago. About 50 years ago. 51 to be precise. 50 years ago. 51 years ago. It is 2024. Yeah. Pablo Picasso. Look at his photo, by the way, in the picture. Can you see? A cute looking boy. Sachit, he looks like you, Sachit. Take a look. Pablo Picasso looks like you. Okay. A and B. Who are A and B here? Take a look. These two people in the picture at the bottom. Can you see? A man and a woman? Yeah, perhaps a husband and wife. They are at an exhibition. They are at an exhibition. Art gallery. Art gallery. See, they're looking at a photo. They're looking at not a photo. They're looking at a painting. They're looking at a painting. They are not looking at a photo. It is not a photo. It is a painting. They are looking at a painting. And they're having this conversation. Hey, look at that painting. अगर ऐसा नहीं बोला तो गलत बोला. ऐसे ही बोल सकते हैं. क्योंकि किसी का ध्यान कैसे खींचेंगे? अरे देख ना ये वाला पेंटिंग हुआ. ये है बिहारी. राइट? इंग्लिश में यही चीज. Hey, look at that painting. ऐसा नहीं है look at that painting. ऐसा नहीं है. हमारी सारी प्रॉब्लम का जड़ में यही है रीजन. हम लोग इस टोन में पढ़ते हैं हर चीज को. Hey, look at that painting. नहीं है ऐसा लिखा. Hey, look at that painting. Next line. It's a Picasso. It's a Picasso. Means this painting is by Picasso. Okay, it's a Picasso. It's a painting by Picasso. Understand? It's a Picasso. Then B, perhaps the wife, replies, oh, yes, fantastic. Or maybe the husband, okay, oh, yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. Means he likes the painting or he doesn't like the painting. Where was Picasso born? A is curious, right? Where was Picasso born? Then B replies, in Malaga. In Malaga. Ah, so he was Spanish. Okay, wait. आगे बढ़ने से पहले दिमाग की बत्तियां जलाओ. Where is Malaga? In China, in the US, in Russia, where is China, Malaga? दिमाग की बत्ती जली. It is obvious. Because when B says he was born in Malaga, then A says, ah, so he was Spanish. It means Malaga is part of? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. So he was Spanish? Yes, he was. A asks, number 4. Were his parents rich? Were his parents rich? Was क्यों नहीं बोलेंगे? Plural. आप क्या बोलते हैं? Are your parents rich? Is your parents rich? Present time. आपके पापा के पास बहुत पैसा है. Are your parents rich? Past में. आपके दादाजी के पास बहुत पैसा था. Was your grandfather very rich? Was your grandfather very rich? Parents. Were his parents rich? Well, they weren't rich and they weren't poor. Make sense now? They weren't rich and they weren't poor. एक सारा खेल है समझ देने के लिए। आप ऐसे सेंटेंस आप कहीं नहीं पढ़ोगे पूरे स्कूल लाइफ में। पता है क्यों? वो अलग लेवल पे लेके जाते हैं। उनको लगता है ना कि हमारे स्टूडेंट स्कूल में आते हैं ना तो सुपरमैन है, और हमारे टीचर जो है अंग्रेज हैं। वो बच्चों को तीसरी क्लास की, दूसरी क्लास की किताब देखो इंग्लिश, देखो दूसरी तीसरी क्लास की किताब इंग्लिश, कितनी मुश्किल इंग्लिश होती है उसमें। आप अभी कई लोग यहाँ दूसरी तीसरी क्लास की किताब के इंग्लिश का कुछ मतलब नहीं निकाल पाएंगे, एक आध दो सेंटेंस छोड़ के। 90% किताब उनको समझ नहीं आएगी। किस क्लास की? दूसरी तीसरी क्लास की किताब नहीं समझ में आएगी 90%। क्यों भाई? बस वही हमारा लेवल रह जाता, छूट जाता वहां। क्लास आगे जाते जाते हैं, इंग्लिश की किताब बदलती रहती है, पास करते जाते हैं एग्जाम, इंग्लिश का लेवल वही रहता है। आप 10th के बाद आए हो सब, तो बताओ मुझे, चौथी पांचवी छठी किताब में मुश्किल होनी चाहिए? किसी सब्जेक्ट में होती है, मैथ्स में होती है, साइंस समझ में नहीं आएगी, फोर्थ फिफ्थ की तुरंत समझ में आएगी। बट इंग्लिश, मैं अभी कहो अभी खोल दूं आपके सामने पीडीएफ, एनसीईआरटी क्लास फोर्थ फिफ्थ सिक्स, and I will give you a book, a story, and I will ask you to read and explain what is going on here. You will be confused. That's the reality, man. इसीलिए ये सेंटेंसेस इस तरह के, ताकि आपकी समझ बन जाए, फिर आप आगे खींच लोगे खुद को अपने आप, समझ के दम पे। They weren't rich and they weren't poor. आप कुछ और लिख ही नहीं पाओगे, उसका मतलब नहीं निकलेगा। बोलो, लिखो they were rich, well they were rich and they were poor, they weren't poor। ऐसे कोई क्यों बोलेगा भाई? अगर बताना है वो अमीर थे, बोले हाँ yeah they were rich। were they rich? oh yeah they were rich। were they rich? no they weren't rich। लेकिन यहाँ के लिए they weren't rich and they weren't poor, which के, right? okay, middle class। his father Don Jose was a painter। आसान था कि नहीं? जब आप अभी बोलते हो माय फादर इज अ डॉक्टर, उसके पापा के बारे में कैसे बताएंगे पास्ट टेंस में? हिज फादर वाज ए पेंटर। was is the past tense of be verb। was is the past tense of be verb, right? And a professor of art, and his mother Doña Maria was a housewife, she was a housewife। So was Picasso good at drawing when he was young? Was he good at drawing? आप कहते हो I am good at drawing, I'm not good at drawing, वैसे ही past tense। Was Picasso good at drawing? Was Picasso good at drawing? मतलब ड्राइंग वगैरह करने में अच्छा खास ठीक था, मजा आता था उसको, अच्छा कर लेता था। Was Picasso good at drawing when he was young? Oh yes, he was a child prodigy। 12। तुम दोनों नहीं बोलोगे, रानी एंड मुदस्सिर विल नॉट आंसर। ओके, यू गाइस ऑलवेज स्पीक फर्स्ट एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ देम कीप क्वाइट। कोई नहीं बोला उस पीछे से, एक आवाज नहीं आई। सब वेट कर रहे हैं कि गलत है सही, हम नहीं बोलेंगे। इस पर माइंडसेट से बाहर निकलो। तुम गलत हो सही हो शेयर करो और सीखो। गलत हो तो क्यों गलत हो ये सीखो। एम्बैरेस्ड फील करने की जगह कि हम गलत हो गए, इंस्टेड ऑफ फीलिंग एम्बैरेस्ड, आस्क योरसेल्फ व्हाई इज इट रॉन्ग। क्या ऐसा है कि यहाँ पर किसको पता चल जाता है, सर को या किसी स्टूडेंट को कैसे पता चलता है ये वर्ड होना चाहिए? वो जानकारी मेरे दिमाग में क्यों मिसिंग है? कोई फाइल मिसिंग है तो नहीं होगा ना काम। तो वो फाइल मिसिंग है कि क्यों होना चाहिए यहाँ वर्ड्स? बताओ नंबर 11 में क्या, 12 में क्या बोलेंगे? ही कुड ड्रॉ, बिकॉज प्रेजेंट में बोलते हैं आई कैन ड्रॉ, आई कैन ड्रॉ, मुझे ड्राइंग करनी आती है, आई कैन ड्रॉ। फर्स्ट में आई कुड ड्रॉ। ही कुड ड्रॉ बिफोर he could speak। He could draw before he could speak। His first word, फिर चुप हो गए। His first word के बाद क्या बोलना है नहीं पता चल रहा है। His first word was lapis, which is Spanish for pencil। पहला वर्ड क्या बोला था वो? lapis, and lapis means mummy। No, lapis means, यहाँ पर अगर हम बंगाली होते तो एक बढ़िया सा गाली निकालते, ठीक है? पता है ना, बोला जैसे ही मैंने समझ गया कौन सी गाली बोलनी, उसको हंसी आ गई। बंगाली लोग एक खास गाली देते हैं। ओके, हिज फर्स्ट वर्ड वाज lapis, his first word was pencil, not mummy। Everybody says the first word. What is the first word, guys? For everybody else? Mom, 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 ammi, ma, right? Maya, okay? But his first word was lapis. Wow, what a story. I'm going to share this audio file as well with you.
Tape script 5.13. Pablo Picasso. October the 25th, 1881 to April the 8th, 1973.
Hey, look at that painting. It's a Picasso.
Oh, yes. Fantastic.
Where was Picasso born?
In Malaga.
Ah, so he was Spanish.
Yes, he was.
Were his parents rich? Well,
They weren't rich and they weren't poor. His father, Don Jose, was a painter and a professor of art. His mother, Doña Maria, was a housewife.
So was Picasso good at drawing when he was young?
Oh, yes. He was a child prodigy. He could draw before he could speak. His first word was lápiz, which is Spanish for pencil.
Wow, what a story.
Okay, I'll see you all tomorrow.
Tape
And don't forget to revise your lesson, okay? We are going to move on tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.